Good afternoon. Welcome to the Daily Live Extra. Jacob and myself, Jacob Rochans. Jacob's knitwear collection is unbelievable. Genuinely unbelievable. So, is this like your special Sweden one?
What?
Knitwear?
Yeah, gotta pull out like the Swedish drip.
Yeah.
Sweden.
Of course you have to.
No?
No, I'm saying, of course you have to. You have to, don't you? You have to
Great
get involved.
Win. Gotta feel.
3-0, beating Michalenko's Ukraine.
Yeah.
How was he?
Gyökeres was so good.
Yeah.
And Mykolenko was, let's just say he was Mykolenko we've seen much of.
He was not very good.
He was not very good.
Not very good.
You know, normally international breaks, people say, it's a bit easier.
Yeah.
Just couldn't cross a ball. You know, they were 2-0 down, 1-0 down, 2-0 down. So they were attacking. There was one point, it was like Ukraine had like 78% possession or something.
Mm.
And he was like playing quite high and he just... No real technical ability to beat a man. And his crosses are always so like... Then there's no pace and they're so lofted. And
Yeah.
it just goes
There's
up
no
and down.
There's no real technique behind them, is there? Was Sweden like much improved on what they had been? Because they only got into the qualifiers because of the
Nations League,
hadn't they?
Yeah, they found some sketchy routes because they were horrible in the qualifiers. So, I mean, Graham Potter, obviously, English manager and stuff, coaching Sweden. So he's now Sweden national team manager. Just signed a new contract. They were good.
Good, yeah.
They were good. There were questionable decisions like Bergvall on the bench, Ronnie Bargi, who's like backup to Lamine Yamal on the bench.
Big decisions, though.
Yeah, big job, but it worked out.
Yeah.
And you had Nygren is his name, Celtic forward, playing instead of Isaac. So players who came in did well, and I'm very happy. And
brilliant.
One more game to go.
Poland on Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
But you're at the Scotland game.
They clash. It was not well thought out by FIFA
or you.
Well,
to be honest, I mean, I wouldn't blame FIFA for this. I would be more looking a little bit more inside.
Why are they putting the international break's like 2 weeks? Why are they putting all the games on the Tuesday? And there's nothing on a Wednesday, nothing on the Thursday.
Why?
That's my question.
Yeah, but there's games next weekend. Just because Everton aren't playing doesn't mean there's not games of footy.
Yeah, but like, they could have done friendlies on a Tuesday and the qualifiers on a Wednesday.
Can't do qualifiers on a Wednesday.
Why?
Because Tuesday's the last day, and then players go back to the clubs. This is on you, Jake. It's not on anyone else. This is on you. You've decided to go to a Scotland game instead of watch Sweden.
I'll be there.
I think you should.
Big Hill Dickinson with my phone.
I think you've made a faux pas. I think by Tuesday you won't be going to the Scotland game.
Well, my mate's coming, so
let him go then.
I can't. He's coming up to visit. I can't be like, bye bye now.
I would.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
But it's not the same, though, is it?
It's not. But you know.
Find a nice Swedish bar in town and go and watch it. There's loads of little Swedish cafes and stuff, I'm sure.
Fika on the docks and stuff. Yeah. They're not sure.
Got your priorities all wrong here, my friend. Anyway, you were the only one really celebrating last night because obviously Ireland were 2-0 up and blew it, basically. Let's be honest. They blew it twice. They blew it in the game and they blew it on penalties. They had a chance, I think, to go 4-2 on penalties. Yeah. And the lad missed it, and they never come back. I don't think they scored another pen. So Seamus, you'd imagine, will retire. I imagine they play Tuesday, don't they? They've got to play. So they play.
Yeah. Why do they play?
They play the team that the two losers play each other in a friendly. I'll like putting the knife in is that. Yeah, that's what happens.
Both teams that are absolutely heartbroken have to play each other
on Tuesday.
A loser bracket.
Yeah, they have to play each other just so they can all have a big cry.
Get these players home to like their families.
So Seamus, you imagine will retire on Tuesday, and you imagine that'll be the thing, which is really, really sad. I really wanted Ireland for many reasons to get to the World Cup, but more than anything, I wanted Seamus' swan song to be at the World Cup. I think just as a footballer, he deserved
and as a
that.
person, he
but that, you know,
deserves it.
not all stories have happy endings. So obviously Jake will have more opportunities, and hopefully Ireland qualify for the Euros because it's getting played in Ireland as well, isn't it? So
yeah.
Wales were 3 minutes away from. I think they were three. No, wasn't 3 minutes away. Was it? It was a little bit. They scored a little bit earlier, didn't they? But obviously they went out on penalties as well, which is, I don't know.
Brian Johnson skied it.
Yeah, Dzeko. How old's Dzeko? He's older than me,
40.
surely.
Plays in Schalke now, second division Germany. So
yeah, which is just they've gone. So Mark, Tom King, he's our only Welsh representative. Sad night for the home. You know, Ireland got beat by Italy as well.
Yeah, that one's like.
I'll be honest, I was supporting Italy. They're my roots.
Do you support Italy in the World Cup?
Yeah,
not England.
I don't support England, mate.
That's fine. Hey,
I don't want. I've said this a million times.
Whoever you want. I
don't want to see England get knocked out.
Yeah.
But I don't support them.
That's fine.
You know what I mean? No,
fine.
I just don't support. I don't have. I've said this a million times. You'd either got 7 countries like you, or you either feel something for something or you don't. You know what I mean? You can't force.
You can't force
it. You can't force feelings.
Yeah.
So
see, anyone's more than entitled to support whoever they want. The only thing that I'm happy is I'm happy that you said you don't support England, but you you want them to do okay, which is that you live in this country. That I think is so. I think that's
I don't
great.
root against. I'm not one of those people who roots against them. When JR for them, I rooted against them. I must admit, I was in a pub watching an England game when they played Portugal. And Portugal beat them, and Nuno Valente was playing for Portugal, and I was celebrating in the pub. And I actually turned up with a Nuno Valente Portugal top on to the game, and Portugal beat them, and I was just. I think all the Evertonians in the pub were celebrating because that's how much we hated Steven Gerrard at the time. So we were all backing Portugal, I think, at the time. So no, if England do well, then fair play.
Yeah.
It was a bit weird when they played that Euros and they got to the final and played Italy. It was like I was supporting it.
Yeah.
But I always want Pickford to do well as well, and I want James Garner to do well if he gets in.
Yeah, for sure.
But Moyes Keane done the business. It's not weird. I just don't have any affiliation for England at all. I just don't. I have no affiliation. I've said this a million times. I have no affiliation with this country. I just don't. I don't have any affiliation with England.
But that's valid.
That's it, isn't it?
You don't pick like. For me, in terms of I have no interest in Swedish football, but when it comes to national team, I really do like Sweden because my dad's Swedish and he's the one that watches football at home. Yeah. So that automatically, although England's better, and
no, that's what you've been brought up with, isn't it?
It just comes You don't pick.
Exactly. You don't. It's like your club. It's like your club. Yeah. You're following in your dad's footsteps, aren't you? It's like I just couldn't care less about it. So. That's me. But as I said, they do well. Fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play. They play tonight, don't they? England. Yeah. So we get to see what. I don't know what they're doing with the team, to be honest. Whether they're changing. Whether they're changing the team.
I just hope if James Garner's there, he gets to. Because I remember last international break, Alex Scott was called up, didn't get a minute, so he's not made his England
I think because they're splitting the squads, I think they will get time. Nice. I think that's what they're doing.
Just for him, and morale. And
the Blues, you're right, mate. He said, would be weird if you pretended to support them for a month or two every couple of years. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, a couple of things we wanted to talk about today. There's a couple of stories, obviously, doing that. It's actually, for a Friday before an international break, it's actually quite busy with stories. So the one that we've put on the thing about Everton getting to Europe, it's not actually about whether they'll get into Europe in the league. It's actually the situation off the pitch. there's been a lot of talk in the last 24 hours, 48 hours about whether Roma and Everton can play in Europe next season in the same competition, because of all the stuff that's going on with multi-club.
Yeah.
Now, that's something that we already sort of knew, but we obviously hoped that Everton have had this in hand. Yeah. And we don't know whether Everton have hand. So the official line is that the Freaking Group have opted not to put Everton or Roma in a blind trust to demonstrate a separation of ownership. Now, a blind trust, as I'm led to believe, basically means that a third party makes all the major decisions at your football club, which is, from their point of view, a massive no-no.
Yeah.
It's something that I think a lot of football clubs would never want to get into, because you have basically got people who aren't part of your football club can make major decisions.
They can allegedly sack the manager, stuff like that, which is not what you want.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So they have decided to go down an alternative. They've got an alternative structural solution in place that will enable both Everton and Roma to take part in if they both qualify for the same competition. Sources close to the Freaking Group. I don't want to, we've got no evidence to suggest that's not true. But as you sit here right now, would you like the big Chuck Norris thumb gif, as in from UEFA, to say, yeah, that's absolutely right? Because there's nothing worse, and this is something that me and Baz have said for many years. Mark, that's not true, mate. I'm telling you right now, what we've just said comes from the horse's mouth, Mark. It comes from the horse's mouth. We're not just... What we've just said then about the blind trust is 100% accurate, and it comes from the horse's mouth. These people can make decisions that the football club might not want to make, and I'm telling you right now, that comes from the horse's mouth. So we're not making stuff up. We're not trying to be clever here. We're not trying to be make things up or anything. That literally comes from the horse's mouth. But as I said then, as I was about to say there, me and Baz have spoke about this a lot in the last few years when Everton have kept quiet about stuff. And I don't think they are keeping quiet about this, because this has been, Everton have put, obviously, or the Freakins have put their side of the story out. Is that when there's not an absolute definitive sort of answer, you get a lot of mischief.
Yeah.
You get people filling in the gaps, like the Roma Press put out, Roma Press, the site, which when we've done an interview with the guy from John, and he's a very nice lad, but he put a story out yesterday saying that UEFA will not allow, the headline was UEFA will not allow Everton and Roma to play in the same competition next season. Now, I think if you went into the article, it was a little bit more nuanced than that. But obviously, headlines, people don't always click.
Yeah.
Headlines are there for that. And I think
how they work,
people, certainly on the internet, they read stuff and they get very angry very quickly with whether it's the football club or it could be UEFA or it could be whatever. And Everton, I think obviously it's the team that finishes lowest in the league that would miss out, which obviously would be us the way if it's felt the way, if it goes the way it is now. Would you just like some kind of absolute definitive thing?
I mean, it's like you said, well, the reports and everything state that they're working on it, the club's working on it, but it's still something that's kind of lingering. And the later we get into the season, the more likely it looks. Well, it's looked a lot more likely we're going to get Europe now than 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. You you just want to know what's going to happen. It kind of gives me the same feeling as like the whole point deduction system and like the appeal. So there are these rules, a situation could happen. You just want to know if it is going to happen. And I mean, all Everton can do is on the pitch, just keep getting the points. And I just hope the people off the pitch in the offices or whatever you want to call it, I just hope they're working hard and doing their best to make sure both clubs, Everton and Roma, get what they want.
Yeah.
Which is the competition they deserve to be in. Yeah. I mean, this whole multi-club, whatever you want to call it, I get why it's there, and I get it's to like, so you don't have favoritism and all, like, but I feel like the Everton-Roma partnership isn't like, let's say, Chelsea-Strasbourg.
Yeah.
Like Chelsea-Strasbourg, you clearly have a hierarchy.
It's not a pyramid. Yeah, it's not a pyramid.
Exactly. And I feel like Everton-Roma, they're very much kept as two independent clubs. And they don't really mix. Okay, play a pre-season game. That's about it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's very fair for them to... It would be very fair for them to play in the same competition.
And we hope... I'll be honest, I hope we're not in the same competition. No. And I'll be honest, if that means we get Conference League and they get Europa League, then so be it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to qualify for Europe. And I know people said, well, we've got to qualify first. I know we've got to qualify first, but there's no point qualifying and then going, oh, we didn't put the paperwork in. We have to put the paperwork in, don't we?
But also, for the scenario, I
think we also want to feel like our club is being run properly, don't we? We want to. I personally, and as I said, I am not for 1 minute saying I'm sitting here going, oh, same old Everton. But that's what I want us to completely move away from. I want a situation 100%, not like 95%, 96%. I want 100% to sit here and go, our football club is 100% different from what it was when the Freakins bought this football club. I don't want any lingering doubt. I don't want any hangovers. I don't want any Everton that. I want absolutely to know for a fact that Everton Football Club are prepared and have been prepared from the outset and have a plan. And that plan is legit, like we're being told. And again, I have no reason to doubt that it isn't legit. But I just want to put an end to any of those doubts and any of the, because I just don't want any negativity to creep in to the end of the season. And that's what I just sort of like want. That's why I wanted to talk about it today, to sort of like talk about it and then put it to bed.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's like, and I really just, as I said, they're saying that they've got a plan. I don't know what that obviously we're not privy to that plan, but they'll have known the rules. They'll have studied the rules. They'll have gone through it. Certainly after what happened to Palace last season, they'll have gone through it. You imagine with a fine tooth comb this season. You own two clubs. You have to be prepared for the best case scenario, haven't you?
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree with what you said, as in you just want this to be put to bed. But I think we understand that it probably isn't that easy. Like, it seems like a very complicated situation. Hence, like, lots of rules. When you said they probably had to go through it very, very, like, pay very much attention to the rules. I think I'll ask you, are you worried? As in, like, because I like to believe the club has like prepared for this situation long ago, and my problem is they're taking their time. It's like we've still not heard anything, but I have very little doubt that there'll be any problems.
I would like, and I know this. I would like this news to come out from the club. Like, that's what I think that's the step you have to take And by the way, I think I'm being fair here, by the way, as well. I don't believe I'm making mischief or anything here. Like, I think that's the step that it takes. I think our fans are very skeptical of certain parts of the media because those same. Put it this way, right? The story I'm just read, and the one I'll read in the next story I'll read has come from Matt Hughes. Now, every Evertonian I imagine in the comments knows exactly who Matt Hughes is. So Matt Hughes was the journalist the first journalist who started making trouble for Everton about 5 or 6 years ago. He started to put stuff out about Everton. Right? He started to put stuff out. Mischief making about the USM training ground and all this stuff. And Everton fans very quickly found a hatred for him because he started the ball rolling and he put these articles out all the time and they become articles that led to a lot of worry, a lot of anger.
Was there any truth to the
there was partial, yes, okay. there was partial truth in all of them.
Yeah.
But the way they were written, the way they were written was sensationalized because he worked for a newspaper that indulged in sensationalism.
Okay.
So there's always a grain of truth. Yeah. Always a grain of truth. And make your feelings known in the comments about Matt Hughes so I can reiterate your feelings about Matt Hughes. Now he started that ball rolling, and he's not well liked. Now the story I'm looking at here comes from Matt Hughes because he works for another newspaper now, and it's probably he's back on it. This is his patch again, and he's not a well liked man. And so when you see articles attached to him when he's talking about these things, you're just like, oh, is he at it again? Causing trouble. And that's what I'm saying.
Stirring the pot.
Everton fans, and he mightn't be. He works for a better newspaper now that doesn't sensationalise. So some good comments about my Hughes in the comments. Everton fans, some Everton fans have a distrust of the media. So I think what Everton fans want, or would probably prefer, is if Everton themselves came out rather than sources attached to the Freaking Group or whatever. I think Everton fans would rather a statement was made by Everton or by the Freaking Group saying we've got this in hand. You know, sources attached isn't the same as an official statement from the football club. I think our fans, and I think this is another thing that as a football club we've got. Don't get me wrong. In the last 12 months, we've got so much better. You have to be careful, of course, because you do get the feeling that nothing's been confirmed yet. And you wonder whether nothing's been confirmed because it just doesn't get confirmed till a later date.
Maybe there's nothing to say right now. Maybe they're just,
So, but I think our fans would prefer Everton Football Club to come out and just say, we've got this sorted. Don't be worrying. But then maybe they haven't got it sorted, as in like it's not been confirmed yet, and they won't confirm it till it's confirmed.
Exactly. So. I very much doubt a professional organisation of any kind will speak on something unless it's 100% like finished, done, confirmed, whatever you want to call it. So I do agree with what you're saying. People would very much prefer to hear things from the person themselves rather than from a third party, from another person where you think, okay, how much truth is there to it, So I do get that, but I think maybe it's a bit early. What would the club say? We're working on it.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is that someone else fills the space. That's what I'm saying. Someone else fills. This is the world of media we live in now is someone else will fill that space. And if that space is a story like we seen yesterday from Roma, like from Roma Press, some people will go, oh, that's it, and burn the place down. That's what I'm saying. It's like you've got to handle these matters. And I think, okay, by putting articles out there and that say Everton have got it in hand and stuff like that, that I think has sort of, that has quietened. I haven't seen too many people getting really angry. And as I said, I'm not sitting here like stressing over it. I just, it's just an interesting, I think, I'm just saying, I think most Everton fans would just be fair that Everton just made a statement and said, this is what we're looking to do, and we'll see what happens. So hopefully it is all in hand, and I can only go from the club. And if they've said that they've got a plan, then they've got a plan. And as I said, the blind trust thing it's not as easy as what people think. It's not a case of going, we'll put it in his son's name.
No,
it's not that it's genuinely not that easy. It's as I said, you give somebody else the power.
You're literally handing the club over to
and that can't be a long-term strategy, can it? And that's why I don't understand how. That's why I can't understand how UEFA can see that as a strategy. I think there has to be, and hopefully this is what Everton Freaking Group have explored, is that they've looked at the paperwork and gone, very much like Chelsea, like looking at paperwork and going, we can bend that. Hopefully they've looked at the paperwork and gone, well, actually, there's a thing we can do that doesn't break the rules, but isn't what you're asking for. Yeah. And legally, because let's be honest, like,
that's how it works, though,
these people are billionaires. These people work with contracts that must have for everything they do, cars, films, aviation, football clubs. They must work with contracts that are so unbelievably like tight,
and detailed,
and you know what I mean. That it's they have to be absolutely spot on. So they will have looked at the paperwork. They will have got their absolute top lawyers onto the paperwork and gone, right, where can we find the loophole?
Yeah.
Or not even be a loophole. Mightn't be a loophole, mightn't it? Might be just something that says we don't have to put it in a blind trust, but we can also do this other thing. So let's hope that's sorted, and we just want to put that to bed and concentrate on trying to qualify, isn't it?
That's all Everton can do, and all we can worry about. The other stuff is up to the
So off the back of that, so that was the first thing we wanted to talk about, but that's not. There's another story that literally hit, funny enough, from Matthews about an hour ago. So Everton are planning to offer David Moyes a new contract this summer in recognition of his achievements in transforming the club. He's obviously he'll have a year left in this summer. So how do you feel about that?
I would go to say I am like 85-90% happy about that. I'm very, very pleased with that, because every club wants this free flowing football manager that has all these fancy ideas and bring this fresh style of play. I can think of hundreds of scenarios where clubs have appointed managers like that and it just hasn't worked out. Whether that be
West Ham,
or like Man United and Amorim, Tottenham, Chelsea. Yeah. I can think of, we have a manager who loves our football club, who knows the football club, who has done unbelievably well. The grass isn't always greener, and I think the situation we are in, I think there is a very, 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 very small chance the grass is greener. So if we get rid of David Moyes and someone else comes in, like, he has done unbelievably well, and he is frustrating at times. Definitely, and he does make decisions that you question. But if you just look at the facts and the results, I mean, we're talking about Europe when last season, around January, we were talking about relegation. That is a turnaround that sometimes takes 5 years, many, many years. I mean, Brighton have tried to get into Europe for God knows how many years. And that's just the club I've named the top of my head, And he's done it in little over 12 months. So I am all for it. That's me. Yeah.
I think there'll be people who aren't happy with it because they'll see it as
completely fine. Yeah.
They'll see as you just mentioned there, like the recruitment side of things of like giving them too much power will push the club in the wrong direction or whatever. And it's, there's we want to be getting young, we're not giving young players a chance and he's not building for the future. But I just think with David Moyes I think he's this season, it's only the back end of last season, he's done the hard work, as in like he's laying foundations, like he's getting the club to a place where hopefully where we're not looking over our shoulders. When we're not starting every season thinking, right, let's just get 40 points and then we'll kick on. I think it's a case of the bar is a lot higher and therefore the expectations are a little bit higher and the players he demands are a little bit higher and there's a continuity to it all. And you're right, the grass isn't always greener. And the way the Premier League is at the moment, it's so turbulent, I think, that I don't think you can just expect 3 teams to come up and go back down again. I think, well, certainly this year, I think football clubs who've come up, 2 of them anyway, have realised what it takes. Power, pace, strength is what you need to stay in the Premier League. 2 of them in Sunderland and Leeds have done that. Now, Leeds are no way guaranteed to stay up, but they're in a better position than Burnley. Burnley bought a load of smaller players, and it's you can see that. I think there's a turbulence to the Premier League that you're looking at the moment, even now with the points we've got, and what we could finish on and could still get Europe. The point, it doesn't feel massive. No. It doesn't feel like we used to say like 60 points would get you Europe. It might be mid 50s. Might be less than mid 50s that gets you Europe this season. And it doesn't, it seems like there's a lot of teams who are all just like, who would, if they'd all experienced one really bad run in the season, could have been sucked into the relegation fight. So I think you've still got to keep your eye on that. And that's where maybe it's not, I don't think as a football club we are still quite there.
We're not completely in the clear.
We're not there I don't think we're there as a club to go, we can rip this all up and start again. Let's go and get me Areola and let's start again. And we'll bring all this kind of players in. And
no.
I don't think we're there. I don't think we're there. So I think you're probably looking at like a year extension.
Yeah.
So that would be obviously, it would run out in 2028. And it might be a case of, watch this space.
Yeah.
How is he doing? How are we doing?
Yeah.
How are we evolving? What are the players that we're bringing in? How are the players that he's brought in? Tyler Diblin, for example, how is he getting on?
Yeah.
But I do think he's done the hard work. I think he's got a team that has got an identity.
Yeah.
I think the fans, whether they like it or not, and some don't like it, and as you mentioned, it can be very frustrating. But I think fans are starting to realise that identity is going to get us points.
Yeah.
And we're not a bad side.
No.
And we are just like, you know, if we could get a decent striker in, even with the fullback situation, and as much as I hate the fullback situation,
yeah,
a decent striker is the difference between us and competing for, certainly this season, I'm not talking about going forward, but this season, if we'd had a decent striker, we'd be looking at the Champions League places.
People are saying that already.
You know what I mean?
With a good,
No, but I mean
that's what the stats and that's what it proves. Yeah, I mean that's not an outrageous thing to say because Everton's in and around it. I just think with Moyes, there's more good than bad. I think the players he's brought in, some you can question, but then he's brought in players that are for the here and now. Which if we just want to have players to develop, we won't be fighting for Europe. We'll be mid-table like a Brighton or like a Bournemouth have been. If we want to be that club, or fans want to be that club, then that's fair. But I want to be a club at the top. And for that, you need players that are ready to go. Players like Dewsbury Hall, players like Jack Grealish. And one thing that I've really liked to hear about Moyes is how the players speak about him. That says a lot. Grealish is like absolutely obsessed with the man. Like in a not in a weird way, but Dewsbury Hall is like all the players are really, really pleased with him and speak so highly of him. So that's just another string to his bow and another box tick that I look at when I think of what kind of manager do I want at this club. So I'm not against it, as I've said.
I just, and that, you know, if we did have a striker who could make goals out of I think that's the main thing. Make goals out of nothing. I think that's the main thing. Forget about your XGs and all that kind of thing. It's a guy who can make goals out of nothing, but also keep the ball at the other end of the pitch for longer as well. Like we saw Beto on Saturday. A player who makes things happen by fighting and scrapping and winning his battles. You know, creativity will come with players who make better runs and who get you the ball down the other end of the pitch and make things. You know, it's been a while since we've had a centre forward who's made goals out of absolutely nothing. I mean, Lukaku is definitely the last one we had who did it, obviously, on a consistent level.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we would get another Lukaku by any means, but that's what we would get. That's what we would need this season. So I can understand people who there are like you will always get people who go, I can't sit through. You can sit through it.
I could sit through Saturday.
Because I think Moyes has been building all season, and as frustrating as it's been at times, he is building through the season.
Yeah. And
you're watching a team that early on in the season you were watching them going, oh yeah, we're doing all right, blah blah blah. To now look at them going, certainly the last like 4 games or whatever, a team that went to Arsenal that was very unlucky, but then put a very similar display in the following week and the week before and the week before at Newcastle. So
there's a
consistency to our performances, and he's got to find more at home, and I think that's when better players come into it, because you have to break down opposition teams at home.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we need that like little bit of something a little bit different, whether that's pace on the break or whatever it is. But as I said, it's a very turbulent season anyway. So the results have been strange across the board, you know.
Not just with us.
Yeah. You know, so it's, I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense also to give him a new contract so that there's a level of consistency that again, another thing you don't have to worry about. It's like when you it's like when you give a player a contract, you might look at a player and go, am I going to keep them? So look at like Mikalenko this summer, right? Mikalenko's out of contract. Everton have an option. You trigger the option, and then you have you have that player guaranteed for another season, and then you can sell him if you want. But at least you can sell him, and you have that option, and you can go. There's no panic. There's no panic about getting another player. Then maybe you do sell him, or maybe that gives you a little bit more time to consider whether you want to give him a longer contract.
Yeah.
If Everton were to give David Moyes another year, which effectively would mean he had 2 years left in the summer, that gives you time to look around. That gives you time to maybe look at a Seamus Coleman or a Leighton Baines or even a Lee Carsley and say, do you know what? We want you to continue David Moyes' work. Because I've been supporting this team for a very, very long time. And what I've always sort of found is when Everton stay close to being Everton, it tends to work more often than going. We're going away.
Trying to be something.
We're trying to be something we're not.
Something else. Yeah.
And it might work short term, like Martinez's first season. But I've always found, put it this way, right? Everton have only ever won trophies under managers who've played for Everton.
Is that a fact?
It's post-war.
Oh.
Everton only win trophies with managers who played for the club.
Mm-hmm.
Now David Moyes could break that, and we all hope he does.
Oh yeah,
and really, really hope that stat is broken. But Everton, David Moyes feels like Everton, doesn't he? Now he's never played for Everton, but because when he came in, we were a very, very low. I was at Middlesbrough when we got beat 3-0 in the FA Cup, and we were all buzzing that day. We took thousands up there, and we were destroyed. And Walter Smith almost had to literally sacked himself. He was just like, in fact, Walter Smith told Bill Kenwright to give David Moyes the job. Mm-hmm. So the manager on the way out told the chairman who to go and get. Yeah. He come in, he was fresh-faced. He was doing brilliantly. In fact, we played Preston in the FA Cup that season and they battered us, but we won. But they battered us. They were brilliant. And we went and got him. And obviously, day one, he walks in and he says, "This is the People's Club." And suddenly there was a buzz. First game, scoring after 27 seconds. David Unsworth. We win the game 2-1. We win the next game at Derby County. We even went to Newcastle, and I went to Newcastle on, was it Good Friday or Easter Monday? Anyway, we got beat 6-2. Our fans give the team a standing ovation at the end. We got beat 6-2. The players worked their asses off. I remember Dunk put us 2-1 up. The scenes were unbelievable. In our end, we ended up getting. They had so much pace at the break, and we had Weir and Stubbs playing centre back, and they destroyed us on the counter attack in the second half. And it was like the team had got. We'd won 3 in a row, but the team had almost exhausted themselves getting to that point. And then I think we won the next game. We beat Bolton, and that was that. Dunk got sent off for punching one of their players, Freddie Bowick, and yeah, it felt straight away there was a change, and it felt that change. He was at the club for 13 years, and bar a couple of seasons, there was only ever one other season where this next full season we did brilliantly, and then the season afterwards we finished. What did we finish? 17th. But we lost our last 5 games.
Okay, yeah.
So we were safe, and then we just lost our last 5 games, and but then the next season we finished. What did we finish next season? Was that when we finished 4th? Anyway, so it was. He feels very much like an Everton man, and because he's already. So I feel like a lot of people just feel like David Moyes is part of the furniture, and if it means another couple of years, then I think that's if that's what it is, and that's what gets Everton regularly in this position, where going into April we've got an opportunity to get Europe. After what we've just endured for the last few years, I'll take that. I'll take the frustrations, and I'll take the ups and downs.
I very much feel that there isn't many other managers that would put us in this position in the league table that quickly. You know, you could go and get someone else, and then it's a 2-year building period, and then either won't work out or then kick. You know, but Moyes has come in straight away and done really well. I'm really happy we're talking about giving managers new contracts. Because how often have we sacked managers or not had a manager longer than half a season, 3/4, you know? There was a point we had like 3 managers in short space of time, and it was just no stability. And David Moyes brings stability.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it.
And I get it. I get the other side of the arguments. See it. We've seen, I think, Jordan, like, parts of January and parts of February, it was like, it felt like every time we didn't win a game, it was like, sack him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And listen, don't get me wrong, we've said, what's great about David Moyes is there's a continuity with him where you're like, you can question his decisions, but you're not asking him to, you're not asking him to be sacked.
No.
You can question his decisions.
Yeah.
You can have a grown up conversation about like when he should be making subs and when he shouldn't be making subs, or why isn't he playing Tyler Dibblin, or why isn't he?
It's just a conversation.
It's just a conversation,
you know?
Isn't it? That's all it is.
Doesn't mean you have to throw everything in the bin and start again. You know,
and there's always a new hot manager around, isn't there? There's always a new flavour of the month, isn't there?
But then you bring them in, and how often have these big clubs brought in these new fancy managers, and they've just not performed? Like, I've seen it a gazillion times where, let's bring in this guy, you know, he's done really well in his last job and this and that. Xabi Alonso with Real Madrid and this, that and the other. So many, and it's just not worked.
And the other side of it is, and I think I have this debate with someone quite often, is like, it's the whole director of football thing as well. It's the whole power element of like football in this country, and it works in different ways. Is that we aren't big on directors of football in this country, but it's funny how many times foreign managers come into this country and really struggle. Like, Amarim's a really good example, right? So Amarim comes from Portugal. He's very successful at Sporting. And I don't know what his structure was there, but he came here and it was like he wanted all the power, or he felt like he didn't have enough power. And that was like part of his last press conference, wasn't it? Saying, I have no power. Like, I'm the manager, not a coach. And he was basically saying, I have no power. He was like, I want to change this team to play in a certain way. But he was basically saying, but then you're not buying the players for me. So it's really weird the way, even when it's like foreign managers want to come over here and be like proper English managers. And yet a lot of people want the structure to be directors of football. And the director of football thing, I'm not saying it hasn't worked. I just don't think it works for everybody.
It doesn't work for Everton, but then it's what you were saying before. Everton shouldn't try and be this Everton should just be Everton. And if sorry to cut you off, but if it doesn't work it hasn't worked for Everton. Direct, we had Marcel Brand.
What I would say is, and I have a slight counter argument that, the sentiment I agree with.
Yeah.
What I would say is though, Moyes has got some of the players that you bought, and I can't even remember his name now. The last director of football.
We had a phone book of 5
What's the last director of football name?
Kevin Toffee.
Some of his players are coming to fruition. I mean, James Garner for £9 million is a brilliant signing, isn't it? You know, that's a
Tarkovsky on a free.
That's a really good signing.
Wasn't Tarkovsky under him?
Was it? No, I don't think so. I don't know. Can't remember. You've got, you know, he brought other players in, but like just for that one example, James Garner, or you know, Marcel Brands got Gerard Brandthwaite.
He brought in some good players.
You know, he brought. So
it's not. I liked all
it's
of them.
It's not. It's not a case that they're not good footballers. There just has to be an alignment between the two, and it doesn't. I know. Again, people who 100% believe in the director of football role don't believe the manager should have any say whatsoever. And that is a very European thing, but it's also worked in this country. I think I've always thought there has to be a little bit of both. Okay. Because ultimately the director of football, and obviously we haven't got a director of football at the moment, a director of football is setting your club up, is seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And is saying, right, we're going to buy this young player because we can get him for £3 million. And if we use him the right way, this lad could be worth, not just worth, because I hate using that word, worth, because that insinuates that you're going to sell him. You know, Kevin Fowler brought in Giant for £15 million. We could sell in Giant now for £60 million. But regardless of how much we sell him for, look what he's doing for us on the pitch.
Yeah.
So forget about selling them. Look about what they're doing.
Yeah.
But a director of football, there has to be that thing of like they're finding the talent and the manager. But we want this thing of like the manager's no say in it. But then do we want a situation where the manager then doesn't play the players?
Exactly.
Because that's just the way this country is that we saw it with Dyche a little bit. He was very reluctant to play in Jai at first, and it was like everyone was like, what are you doing? Get him in the team. Get in Jai in the team. So if the manager's the last say, and we believe the manager had the last say on Tyler Dibblin. Now if he was found by the committee, but then Moyes said at the sign-off on him, then Moyes must have a plan. Same with Asnu. He must have a plan for those players. And I'm not saying that plan is necessarily right. But I think we need a bit of both. I think we need someone who is looking after the long-term strategy of the Everton Football Club, picking up those kind of players, picking up your Braden Grahams from Ireland, seeing the potential in that. And then your manager has to play them. And if he doesn't, and that's where it is a bit weird this season, because if a director of football had bought Tyler Dibblin, then it would be really weird, wouldn't it? Going, it would be dead straightforward. We'd be like, Moyes doesn't like him, and there's an issue. But we're all scratching our heads because we're like, we're all led to believe that David Moyes had the final say on Tyler Dibblin. So I do understand a lot of people there are people out there who get very frustrated with Moyes because he's got too much power.
Yeah.
But I also feel like he was given that power because he saved Everton. He came in and saved Everton within like 4 games last season.
He earned it.
He walked in. It's just like what Dyche. There's talk again that Dyche could take over Tottenham. Dyche has been dead clever because Dyche was just like, nah, I don't want anything to do with it. No way. Now Dyche still have to go, we'll give you a 2-year contract and we'll double your wages, because the need to have someone like him come in and save that football club and save them £200 million is so much bigger than that contract.
Yeah.
So he's playing the game. He's not stupid. He knew there was an international break. He knew that there was a big opportunity. And David Moyes, when he came in, was like, man, he'd already said, I'm not taking over a club that's in a relegation fight. But Everton obviously offered him a 2.5 year deal and basically probably said to him, you'll have no director of football by the end of the season. And we knew Kevin Fowler was announced to be leaving in, was it like this time last year?
And there was no talk before that, so everyone kind of knew that.
So it was like David Moyes has basically gone in there and ripped the whole thing up. And he sort of deserves it. And again, I hate talking about what players are worth and all this kind of thing, because I'll say this, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Everton Football Club do not sell players on the cheap.
No.
We are not someone you can go and knock on the door like Bournemouth and go, yeah, we'd like it. Because they buy players cheap to sell them high. We buy players cheap, expensive to try and win games of football for Everton Football Club, and that's whether people. That's the truth. We have sold. Of course, we sold because you get to a point sometimes where a player's ambitions are like, I'm not signing a contract. I want to leave, and there's nothing you can do about it. And David Moyes in the past has been at Everton, has had nothing he can do about it. Maybe now he can do something about it. But let's not forget Everton last summer when people were talking about Brandtweight, David Moyes was like, what are you? He's not going anywhere. So,
I mean, on the whole director of football, like, I think that in terms of long term and in terms of stability and project, I think it's a very, very good structure. I mean, my studies are gearing up towards that. Whether that happens or not, who knows? But the way I see it is Everton don't have that. Moyes has the power. Yeah. Okay. Did he earn it? Yes. Are we doing well? Yes. So then what the are we talking about? Like, what's the problem? Like, what is the issue with Moyes making decisions if things are going well? My only concern is what you said before, is when Moyes does leave, a director of football plans, and he will have someone come in who is of the same style, the same kind of way to play. Exactly. And that's the only thing when you don't have one and a manager has powers. When that manager leaves, then you could bring someone in and it'd be very likely be something completely different.
By the way, and it's also that we don't have a director of football as such, but we have also restructured. Like, it's not like when David Moyes was first here, when it was this David Moyes and nobody else. It's a restructuring of that we have done. We have people behind the scenes that we have brought in, that, you know, are there to, you know, Nick Cox.
James, you broke people's ears.
Why have you done?
Put an air horn after you said so.
After
Fair
what?
I can't even remember what it was.
Fair play.
It felt like an air horn.
Fair play. That felt like a big moment.
James is bored. Yeah.
If it felt like a big moment, then I'm all day for it.
Make it epic, yeah.
I apologise if I scared you.
James
headbutted the soundboard.
We've got a new soundboard for James.
James has a new
next
toy.
week we'll be getting set up properly.
Yeah, but we're gonna get some good sound clips for it.
I won't be here.
We need James. We need Jacob to just say something, and that to go in the soundboard.
Jacob.
All right, before I go on holiday,
right now you're gonna something on the spot.
No, we'll do it off camera. We'll do it off camera. No, but going back to what we were saying,
I don't really think Jacob's got a catchphrase though, has he?
No.
We haven't established a catchphrase for him.
I have a nickname.
He's had a couple of catchphrases off air this week, but you know,
yeah, one game.
But it balanced itself out last night.
But I don't know what I don't know what you mean, but maybe this is not.
You've had a couple of tantrums this week.
They have been kind of
the best one yesterday. There was a Toffee TV premiere last night.
Quiz.
Jacob said we did a quiz, which we might do one next week on YouTube. Actually, we might do a quiz next week on YouTube. So we did a quiz last night, and it was brilliant. And I don't even know what Jacob said, but Jacob said something nasty to Baz. Was it nasty?
Oh, cheeky.
There was an answer that Baz writ the answer wrong, but it was right, and Jacob rubbed it in because
Baz was rubbing it in.
And literally, I kid you not, the second that he stopped laughing, and an email popped up to say that he didn't have Derby tickets. And it was just so, we were like, calm it.
I'm the nicest guy in this office. James. The one time I'm...
This is where you've got to get better at this, James. You've got to know the moment. You've got to know the moment.
No, been to every game and then I don't. I even checked this. Well,
someone actually messaged me before and said they'd been to every single game this season and they didn't get a Derby ticket.
No, same.
And they were like,
since I've been to every one.
You only been here 3 months?
Been to like 12 games.
This person had said him and his lad had been to every single game and didn't get one in the ballot for the Derby. I was like...
And then goofy people like...
I'm happy you didn't get one, though.
Look at this guy.
This guy.
Get a load of this guy.
Hey, here's a catchphrase.
There you go.
There you go. All right. We can clip that. We can clip that.
I'll do better.
Now I'm clipping that one. That
Just
was
clip
authentic.
that. That's organic.
Get a load of this guy. And then the... So it says...
You just clip that and put that in. Yeah. Anyway. No, it was good. It was, yeah, it's all, so we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
James thinks he's Charlie Sloth. You know, on the open mic, they all the... that's a good one.
Yeah. So, anyway. Let's have a look at some of your comments to do with... There's too much thing on it because of the new thing. Is it back?
You've been doing too many air horns.
Yeah, maybe the air horns.
Back now.
Maybe the air horns make it go off.
No, because it's before, but it's back now.
Okay. We'll sort that out.
Yeah, I have got one.
Gary Ward says Hardy. Nick says Seamus never going to a World Cup is very sad for one of the biggest legends we've had. Ever had being RS2 makes it even worse. It is sad. It is sad. He obviously went to a Euros, didn't he? But he's never been to a World Cup. That's sad, that. Paul Davis is gutted about Wales, but at least we don't have to contribute to Trump's economy. Mark Mack says the real pointless thing is making the teams that have got knocked out play each other. Yeah. Steve P says Grealish for 20 million or Harry Wilson for free. Grealish for 20 million, mate.
Grealish all day.
Yeah. Even just because he'll pay for himself. Well, maybe not pay for himself, but the off the field stuff is quite big, and is what he does for the club name wise is really important.
Also, he speaks about.
Or we could just buy a fella called Harold Wilson. You take your choice. Mark Mack says, on Moyes Keane, do you think if he didn't get sent off and his goal in the League Cup counted, it would have been a sliding doors moment for him and he could have established himself? Or do you think it just wasn't the right fit? Just wasn't the right fit. Wrong time. Too young. Far too young. Italians just don't seem to do too well in the Premier League. There's been only a handful of Italians who've survived the Premier League. Tonali probably going to move to City now, I'd imagine.
Oh, he's so good.
But very few. Zola, obviously, unbelievable. Vialli. I think somewhere like Chelsea is different. London's different. I think players who played outside London have very much struggled. I remember when Albert Aquilini, was he, signed for Liverpool, and he was going to be Gerrard's replacement, and he was dire. He absolutely stumped the place out. Sam says, hi lads, think we all know the most Everton thing would be qualifying and I'm not allowed to go in UEFA. I know, Sam, but we've got to get away from that mentality, haven't we? We've got to get away from that Everton mentality. Ting says, it's so nice to be in the conversation about Everton in Europe. We can all dream about it now as it's touching distance. Knowing Everton are more solid foundation now and for the future is paramount to our dreams. As for Matt Hughes, if he was a dog, he'd have owners that would let him outside the house and not pick it up. There you go. Mark Max says, keep Moyes 100%. If he doesn't want to, move him upstairs and transfer and then go get Marco back. Brad Morris says, do you see David Moyes' success as more of a job well done by him or indictment of the managers that came before him? Granted, every season is different, but we've been relatively pragmatic with transfers and have roughly the same players with the same needs in the squad. Bit of both. I think Moyes has done a fantastic job with was it only one player on Saturday that Sean Dyche did?
He came off the bench, but he played for like a total of like 5 minutes.
So Dewsbury Hall was the only player on Saturday that Sean Dyche didn't have available to him. I mean, I think that says it all. Mindset is a mad thing, isn't it? How you send a team out.
You know what? I just saw an Instagram. So my brother's a Spurs fan. I just saw him like an Instagram post about Sean Dyche to Spurs.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't know what's coming. Oh my.
Well, I'll be honest. Spurs are at quite a low ebb anyway, so it doesn't.
I saw something like this is absolute.
I know,
BS, but
sometimes. But this is what happened when. Sadly, this is what happens when your club is bad and is run badly or is bad players. You end up with managers like him, and we've had to suffer this. But they do a job in a small amount of time, and if they do a job, whether we like Sean Dyche or not, ultimately and I've said this loads of times, he did the job he was asked to do. He didn't do any more. He didn't do any less. He did the job. And that's like a smudge on the football club, isn't it? Forever. Having bad managers is not bad managers, but managers that suit a certain place you are. And that's where Spurs can't get away from. That's where they are right now. They are a dicey team.
They've been so reactionary with, oh no, we're dropping further down. Let's get this manager, and then let's get this manager, and then it's just gone down and down. And I saw something like, if they can't get a manager, they're willing to have a player manager. Like, this is obviously absolute BS. And the names that were thrown out was Romero and Matt. Like, who wants to go there? Like,
but if Dyche gets them enough points, if Dyche went in and they drew every game, they'd stay up.
Yeah.
And that's what he'll try and do. Because ultimately his job is to do nothing else. Then it's like when Allardyce came to Everton and we got our first taste of it.
Yeah, but
his job was to keep Everton in the Premier League.
Dyche, I've been correct on Spurs so far, and I can very confidently say Dyche will not save Spurs because Van der Ven is not listening to
No.
who these Champions League quality Xavi Simons under Dyche.
They've got a load of the same kind of player. That's the problem. They've got very few players with any heart.
That's it.
And that's
what Everton had, and that's what kept them up.
Yeah.
Heart. Are these is flipping? I can think of all of Romero, the midfielders, Bissouma. Are they listening to Dyche?
Well, they might though, because one thing they might do is they might actually respect a manager who is just sets them up in a simple way.
But they don't want simple. They're world class players. Let's play.
They aren't world class players.
But that's what they think they are.
This is the thing about
Xavi.
This is the thing about Spurs. Spurs players it's a collection of players
that think they're better than they are.
They are, and maybe they need a manager who will bring them down to the ground. And listen, if they don't respond, they'll get relegated. Because I think West Ham will get maybe 2 more wins. And I think that might be 1 more win than Spurs gets. But
it's exactly what you say. They think they're better than they are. I'm not saying they're good. I'm just saying they think they're good. And players like, well, we know what do I know? Xavi Simons might have an amazing attitude, but he's a Holland international who's played in a Euro semi-final and scored. And Sean Dyche.
Yeah, it's this. You reap what you sow.
I think you just really hate Spurs.
But for a reason.
Yeah, it does sound like it, doesn't it?
No.
For a reason. They're crap.
They're not good players.
And they still think they're a Champions League team.
No.
They are literally.
They might.
Oh no, they just got knocked out. Like 2 weeks ago.
Steve P says, have you noticed that whenever clubs turn things around, they usually do it very quickly within a year? All this 5-year plan stuff is a load of nonsense, as proven many times. If you have a good manager, a good CEO and a good recruitment, then you'll turn it around very quickly, just like Newcastle did, just like Villa did, and like we're doing now. Villa, one thing I would say, Newcastle did spend a hell of a lot of money. Remember that January when they brought Bruno Guimaraes in? They spent a shed load. But Villa have proved it. Got a top-class manager in, basically the Spanish Moyes, and give him the power, and he's done the job.
Yeah.
David Murphy says the issue that stands out more than ever is fullback situation. There will be a huge transformation with fullbacks who can get up and down. In respect to Moyes getting a contract extension, fair play to the man. You can clearly see players who have a dearth of talent playing much, much better. Miko has improved. James Garner's improved, as he's now has a first senior international call-up. It will be detrimental not keeping Moyes, particularly squad depth and development. Steve P says, what better manager than Moyes are we realistically getting? Look at the amount of managers that have tried to turn us around and failed miserably. Yet just like the first time, he's doing it again now. People talk about Iriola. Moyes is factually a better manager than him, without a doubt. That's actually done. What's he actually done as a manager? Well, Iriola is at the sort of start of his journey, isn't he? And I think Iriola will be given the chance to do that. once he leaves Bournemouth, I'd imagine.
Can I just reply? Peter Russell, he said, feel Jacob's pain, Ari, a derby ticket, and if nothing else, it makes me feel a little less pissed off that I also didn't get one. Missed out on the first 6 games, but got a ticket for every game after. All I'm saying is, if every person that got a ticket is like deserves to go, and then fair enough. If I watch it on, if I don't go and watch on the TV, and for example the seat unique, I just see they won't be wearing red shirts, but just see.
No, I know, mate. I know that
would kill me. That would be.
No, mate. I agree. That's the. What's the vetting process about buying a seat unique? If there are reds in the ground, I think the seat unique thing is nonsense anyway. I really do. I'm not. I just don't buy into it, and I never will buy into it. For me, certainly if Everton are going to put the prices up, those seats should be season ticket holders. I couldn't care less what anyone at the football club tells me about how much money they make from it. I couldn't care less. Those seats should be season ticket holder seats. And they should be Evertonians, because I just know that when it comes to something like the Merseyside derby, there will be people in there, and it's a disgrace. And to me, it's about. We saw this on Saturday, and the manager said it. When the fans back the manager, back the team at the ground, it adds so much more. And if those seats are taken up, I've said this here. I've said this loads. I said this early in the season. Like, I was asked whether I wanted to give my tickets to a relative of mine to come and see the ground, and I was like, no, he doesn't support Everton. And it was like, I know, but he's a family member. I said I couldn't care less. He supports Wrexham. Does not support. I'm not here to pass on my tickets for someone so they can have a nice day out.
Yeah.
I would never sell my tickets to someone who wasn't an Evertonian. Ever. And I just don't like seat unique. I just think it gives...
No.
I don't know but by the way, I don't know what the safeguards are, but I imagine people will get round it somehow. And there might be people out there who go, oh yeah, you can use my membership for someone to get tickets. And there will be people like that out there, or there might be someone who buys them and passes, sells them on as a profit. Because there will always be people like that. But for me, I would get all those seat unique things, and they can't because they'll have a contract with them. But for me, I would give all those seats and give them to Evertonians, or give any seats that have been available this season. Like, we saw loads of Man United fans in our end, apparently. I'd be going to all those seats and I'd be like, nah, we're making these season ticket up. We're having less of a walk up, and we're going to give more Evertonians an opportunity to be season ticket holders. Yeah. I know that's not how the club see it, but it's how I see it. I want die-hard Evertonians in the ground every single week, watching and backing the football club. And I don't want people like you to be sitting here and going, I missed out on a ticket. I've been to every single game, or,
I'll never,
the lad who messaged me on Instagram, Tony, you messaged me on Instagram. It's like, I don't want people like him missing out. I want people like him to be able to get season tickets, and everyone who's on the waiting list to get James to get I want people to get. I want people who go week in and week out to not have to go in ballots when we all know there's tickets there that haven't been sold this season. It's a fundamental. It's a thing that Everton, for me, in the first season, have tried something. I don't think it's worked, and now they have an opportunity to put it right at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's just it's gutting, but oh well.
Blue Keely says in Moyes we trust. Stevie Toff says, where and when did you find out about Michalenko's option? Can't reveal. Can't reveal. AJ Note says, have either of you been to see Nile Rodgers and Sheik? Are they good? Because I've got tickets, but I'm trying to convince my mate. I have been to see Nile Rodgers and Sheik, and I can confirm that they are absolutely amazing. Like, I tried to explain this to James a while ago. Nile Rodgers is literally one of the most influential men in music in the last 50 years. And he is anything good you've heard generally. Now Rodgers has either been part of it or had an influence on it. And when does the concert with Sheik, it's brilliant. And he's playing Bootle. And I'd get tickets, and the only reason I haven't got tickets is because it's the first weekend of the Premier League season.
I think you're going to say because it's Bootle.
Honestly, Nile Rodgers is brilliant. And if you ever get an opportunity to go and see him, you'll have the time of your life. You will have the time of your life. That's all I'm saying. Mark says, I swear if Nias gets a derby ticket, I'm done with the club. Brian Ball says, and I think this is definitely a thing. He says, rumour has it, Matt Hughes wears a dry robe.
Oh, this has gone full circle.
And I think that's
few weeks.
I think that's Brian. I think you've hit the nail on the head. I think he's a massive lover of a dry robe. Rumour is he wears dry robes on sunny days. That's all I'm saying. That's all.
Completely forgot about the whole dry robe.
Yeah. You've dry robed. You've just destroyed the flag as well with your big stupid legs, Jacob. Get a control of your legs. You absolute freak.
Exposed.
You freak of nature.
Everyone's looking at your legs now.
Everyone's looking at your legs going, oh, you massive. Everyone's like, you massive freak.
Should I pull a James and get up and fix it?
No, don't do that.
That was a Patreon
No.
show.
Also, what are you going to do with James? You got up and stopped at final word on Monday.
No, the final word was excellent and the voices sounded perfect.
Yeah, there was no issues.
There were no issues
whatsoever.
I watched it back and hey,
I've never had the cob.
It's not how you get knocked down, it's how you get back up.
Someone just said there, now Rodgers did the Halo 2 soundtrack. There you go.
Someone said soundboard.
Yeah, we need one that goes, your legs are too long, you freak.
There you go, you have one now. You have one now.
Someone said, what's a dry robe? If you don't know what a dry robe is by now, you will never, ever, ever know.
Put that in the soundboard as well. Wow.
Just a ped one.
Just a whole... Let's just clip everything Pen says up. Just clip it all.
Now, Rodgers also played the guitar on Get Lucky, remember?
Yeah.
Roy Hodgson is out of retirement, guys.
Yeah, he's gone to Bristol City. He's gone to Bristol City.
It's crazy.
There you go. Right. What's the plans for the weekend then, gents?
Me and Jacob both playing paddle tonight. I'm playing paddle on Sunday.
Separately or together?
With Mike Cosgrove.
On Sunday, won't we meet?
Nice.
Yeah, and
paddle's taken over by the sounds of it.
Got my grandparents coming up from Bournemouth.
Your grandparents are playing paddle?
No, they're not.
We did say that was going to happen, didn't we, James?
They're not playing paddle. We are going to have a nice weekend, and then
You're saying playing paddle means it's not a nice weekend?
No, I'm saying we're going to do other things. What?
You're saying you hate paddle?
It does sound like that, doesn't it?
Mike Cosgrove.
Sounds like you hate Mike Cosgrove.
Oh my God.
How does this happen? Anyway, no.
So hang on. So what you're saying is, technically you're saying you feel bad because you believe Mike Cosgrove's got no friends. So you're going to play paddle, a sport that you hate, just to make Mike Cosgrove feel better about himself because you believe Mike Cosgrove has no friends. And sometimes comes into the studio when no one asked him to, and he just,
I feel this is all about you now.
And he sits down.
You've gone too far.
No.
Let it out, Pen.
It just feels like that's what it feels like.
Let it out. It's okay.
When you said before off camera that you thought you'd seen Mike Cosgrove wearing a dry robe.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah.
I literally forgot what a dry robe was until you brought it back up.
Well, you might not see Jacob for a while now.
No.
Emma says she's seen a mummy and sun dry robe combo the other day. You must have been walking around an affluent area, Emma.
Am I allowed to say?
Were you in Crosby?
My potential goodbyes to the people.
If you want to.
Right. My internship here is done.
This is his last day as an intern.
As an intern, who knows what the future holds, but it has been an absolute blast and so fun that I have decided to become a Liverpool resident permanently.
Big news, ladies.
Luxembourg is bye-bye. Big news, ladies. Okay.
got the trombone out there.
Well, you should have done like air horn. No, I've had such a blast with you guys in here and everyone. The
Emma,
comments
what's
are
with like the
great.
Japanese? Sorry, why does it come up when you say something like a little Japanese little thing? What's going on?
Going full time Lux? I'm not Luxo anymore. I am.
You still look though.
I'm Luxo in pool. L pool.
So basically, let me just because he's just rambling, isn't he? He is just rambling, trying to get attention.
No, I'm
Literally.
Trying to farm.
So he's staying in Liverpool.
farm.
He's staying in Liverpool. We have offered him a job, but it's So basically, if he wants to come into the studio, he can come into the studio. If he doesn't, it technically doesn't have to. So it's basically on him when he wants to come in. So if he wants to come in every day, he can. If he doesn't, he doesn't have to. So just because of the very nature of what he's going to be doing for us. So I don't know when you'll see him next. You won't see him next week because he's got a friend here or something.
What's that?
I don't know what kind of friend it is, do I?
Well, what the fuck does that? So
last day is it? Last day is it? Drop the F-bombs. Doesn't matter to me, lad.
Apologize. No, it's a friend from back home from high school.
That's it. I didn't know what kind of friend it was. It might be could be any kind of friend.
I'm offended, but
why are you offended by having a friend? A friended? You've been offended.
Anyway,
so he's not gonna be here every day, or he might be here every day.
That just depends.
Depends on how he feels.
Yeah. Well, I have my uni degree to finish and starting my new one in September, but I reckon I'll be around a lot in the summers if I can.
Be good if Sweden qualify for the World Cup.
Watch-alongs.
Because you'll have you'd be like Sweden watch-along is what's with this people's names?
I think Google's glitching.
What's this?
When you hover over it becomes an emoji.
Okay. So Jacob's here to stay, but just
less hours.
whenever he wants.
Yeah.
Essentially. We can't afford him. He's too expensive. He's come from Luxembourg. They're on
AI.
They're on €37 an hour. Probably. Imagine we went into town next week and we found him walking around in a dry robe.
I can see it happening.
Never gonna happen. I do not own a dry robe.
With a paddle racket.
Dry robe with a paddle racket.
Imagine there's like a dry robe with like a big pocket, like a paddle pocket in it. That would be amazing.
You do what you call them? New business idea.
Telling you, mate.
New invention.
Telling you, like a proper big dry robe, but just inside it, and you put,
Is he paying tax now? No, because I'm a student. I think that's how it works.
No. When you're in or it.
I don't know how it works.
Oh, then maybe.
I don't know how it works.
I now have a hatred for Liechtenstein. Let's go.
Oh, Liechtenstein's clear.
Let's go.
Liechtenstein, what a country.
James is my number one hater. See, I always thought we were Batman and Robin, but no, he is just my biggest hater.
Yeah.
Batman and thanks, Ben.
Batman and Norton. So it works, mate. Gotta be quick. Someone just said, have you seen the In-Betweeners?
I was hoping you would. I know, but I know the clip. I know the clip.
You should just watch the In-Betweeners. You should just watch it anyway.
Ooh, a Toffee TV dry robe.
No. Not on my watch.
Not on my watch.
Lad. Yes, Richard Ashcroft was tremendous. He's like the thinking man's Liam Gallagher. He's tremendous. Pulled out.
Luxembourg's population so much bigger than Liechtenstein, but I feel like I know.
That's why Liechtenstein's punching now, innit? Because
I feel like I've heard of them more than Luxembourg.
You can fit like 5 Liechtensteins in Luxembourg. Someone said, "Lock up your daughters. He's here to stay."
Lock up your cakes.
Ooh, and your paddle court.
No, you're the paddle guy.
Paddler.
You've been to play more than me.
I've been twice.
Is he going to be here with a guitar? I think that's someone else's role. Xmas special with a guitar. I remember that.
There you go. Right, there we go. Yeah. Right, we've covered all the bases. Oh, we're all getting off now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to the gym. And then I've got to go for a run.
Nice one. You look dead ready for that. Like you're about to yawn.
The gym will warm me up.
Nice.
Warm me up. Why is someone called what is a wet robe? It's not called a wet robe. It's called a dry robe.
But if a dry robe becomes wet, is it a wet robe?
Heard you on the film, The End of Oak Street? No. Don't know what that is. Anyway. Oh, let me just do one of them. Do one of them. Oh, yeah. And you just feel a pull in your shoulder. Beautiful, you know.
So happy.
It's so good. I love feeling a good pull or hearing a good pull or hearing. No, when you feel a good
What do you
stretch.
mean by that?
When you feel a good stretch or when you feel like a little pop. When you feel a little pop. Boss, what a feeling. What a time to be alive. Maybe Jacob will get a nice finger at some point. I don't know.
A what?
With no context, I'll just sound little.
I don't know.
Man.
Right. Go and check out the non-Everton Everton podcast that me, Jacob, and James have done. If you haven't already, we normally just do it on Premiere, but we've put it on YouTube this week just so everyone can get a little taste of what we do. So go and watch that for us because it's good. We have a good chat about different stuff. It's not we don't talk about Everton, so we're talking about different stuff, films and
just things happening
wars,
in the world.
wars, crimes, films.
I love football. That Cantona speech. Oh.
I have no knee issues because actually it's a lie when you running actually makes your knees stronger. It improves the cartilage. The knee thing is a myth. So that's a myth. So go and check out that. If you're on Toffee TV Premiere, these two have done a Toffee box, which will be out at 5 o'clock. So go and check that out as well. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll be back at me and James on our own next week. Literally but there's nobody else. Well, there will be other people, but me and James are going to be on here at 1 o'clock on Monday. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about.
Liechtenstein.
No idea.
Yeah, when I'm gone, all the real
all the
thoughts are going to come out. Oh.
Yeah. I've no idea what we're going to be talking about other than I'm going to see Notting Hill tomorrow on the pictures at Walton Cinema. And I've seen it a million times, but it's to help the cinema. And that's nice. that's the kind of community spirited person I am.
Good.
That's the kind of community spirit. Are you going to, at any point, see Project Hail Mary?
I reckon on Sunday or Monday.
It's useless to us now, isn't it, really? Because we've done the podcast and we're not going to see it for God knows when.
2 weeks.
So,
when I'm back from my nice holiday.
I don't know whether there'll be any conspiracy stories, but I don't know.
Yeah, chaos next week. What will they do without me? I don't think there
will be chaos. But
what will they do without
just
me?
Run way smoother.
Yeah, it generally does. When
James will be like, so much to do now. Oh,
there'll be very little to do because we won't have any shows to do. There's no Everton.
I'm going away I should have gone away on a really busy week.
Next week's like the most non-Everton week ever.
Should have gone away on a busy week. So then James was like, I really missed Luxo.
Yeah.
Make it harder.
Big Luxo.
All right, dude.
Big Luxo just destroying it. The fabric of this channel. Right. See you all later.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.